Ja Morant made a statement back in December, just before all these injuries happened. He said that they were fine in the West. Now we are here. We are here in the playoff time now, but we had some injuries along the way. So what is your realistic expectation of the Grizzlies right now in this playoffs with everything that's happened with the players we have lost that not going to be there? What's your expectation? So what's considered failure to you in this playoffs?
On this most extreme level, a disappointment would be getting swept in the first round. So I think that would be very, very disappointing. I don't see that happening. I don't think that's a scenario that's happening at all. But getting swept, maybe taking it a little bit further. Actually, I think that's it. I think that's my biggest disappointment because, again, potentially you're going to go against the Lakers team, which I don't know what favoring or Vegas is going to say in terms of who they have favored to win the game. They're probably going to go Grizzlies. But then again, you're going against right now a healthy, quote unquote, Lakers team with LeBron James, with Anthony Davis, with a more well-rounded roster. So there's a scenario in which the Grizzlies could lose to the Lakers. I hope that does not happen. But to answer the question, getting swept would be the most extreme disappointment that I would probably ever think to happen. So let's go that way.
Yeah, man, that was extreme. I was going to say losing in the first round, period. I don't. To your point, they're going to potentially be going up against a Lakers squad that is healthy, but something just telling me, man, if somehow Memphis doesn't get this done, that will be a huge disappointment because you get past this, you pretty much can go to the conference finals because you have a favorable matchup in. Well, not even just the conference finals, potentially NBA finals, because you have a favorable matchup all those last 3 rounds. So, it'll just be losing in the first round, period, to whoever you match up with. I think potentially it could be the Lakers. I know I picked the Timberwolves, but whoever it is, losing that first round matchup will be a disappointment.
And for me, barring injury to anyone else, what's the conference finals appearance? Zach Kleiman came into the press conference after last season, said 3 players were untradeable pretty much, and we're going to build around these 3 players. So we got those 3 players, Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. If we were to lose in the first round with those 3 players on the court, I don't want to hear nothing else about saying I wouldn't trade Desmond Bane for Jaylen Brown. Right? If these players are our 3 that we're building around and they are on this court, in this series, in these rounds, I expect us to be fine and get at least to the Western Conference Finals. If they're supposed to be untradeable. So I need these 3 players that are untradeable to step up and be the stars they're supposed to be. And I believe they are. So I believe they should get the Western Conference Finals. Anything lower than that, unless, of course, injuries, knock on wood, to anyone else. They should be fine into the Western Conference, in my opinion. Because at that point, you play against Phoenix or Denver. I'm not disappointed by losing any of those teams, any of those 2. Those are 2 teams that I don't expect us to beat. So, Western Conference Finals experience has to happen.
Yeah, and I think it's worth noting as well, too, again, whether you're playing the Lakers or the Timberwolves, thinking about it off the top of my head, neither one of them have a guard that can stay in front of Ja Morant. So I think him being able to – I think he'll have success against either one of those. And when Ja Morant has it going, the Grizzlies have it going. So I think they'll be able to kind of at least get out of the first round for sure.
Yeah. And plus, having the best home record this year, and you have home court advantage the first 2 rounds, it's kind of like, hey, please win your home games. Like, you had the best home record all year.
Protect the house. That's it.
Like, you can win 7 games both of these series if you win all your home games. Simple.
Yep.
We got a great home court advantage, but hey, we see what happens. The time is here. We are in playoff season, and hey, let's see what these Grizzlies can do in it.